Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Mike Haspil, and Wyatt Turk from Jacket Club's Painting. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, guys?
So we are back. It's been an interesting week. A lot of feels. I feel like this week has definitely been a kick in the pants for a lot of people. Obviously, there was some sad news come for the hobby to hear that Geoff Robinson, in control, Geoff Robinson had passed away. And I think, we're going to talk about it some here during the show because we all kind of interacted with him in some regards, I think. And it's just kind of sad, but to brighten up the mood, I think Wyatt has a would you rather. Although I do better.
I do, in fact. All right. Would you rather eat an entire jar of mayonnaise for breakfast every day or apply an entire jar of mayonnaise to your skin 3 times a day, every day?
I have a question first. What is mayonnaise? Was mayonnaise just fat? What is mayonnaise actually?
Nobody knows.
I think it's like, isn't it like raw eggs and sugar or some shit?
No, it's not sugar. It's eggs and some other stuff, cream and stuff like that. But I know it doesn't have sugar in it because it's keto. So
it's certainly good for your skin because it seems like everything that's got like eggs in it is.
Yeah.
Except you'll get like
oil
salmonella.
I'll get what?
You get salmonella.
Well, I mean, if you can, it's pasteurized eggs though. It's not really raw.
They're not raw.
Smelled mayonnaise once it gets warm.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that mixed with Kenny Boucher butt crack sweat.
I think we talked about that earlier. He already knows.
If it's a would you rather,
it is a would you rather. But
would you rather, one of these things would kill me in a relatively short amount of time if I ate an entire jar of mayonnaise every day for breakfast.
Yeah,
there's no way. I mean,
apply it to your skin.
Yeah, so I can smell like a hobo, for lack of a better term. And no, I can already tell you in the chat, someone's like, "Can you just wash it right off right after?" No, there's no game in this. This is part of my moisturizing ritual now. Yeah,
just like anybody who puts lotion on, you can take a shower at the end of the day, but 3 times a day, you got to apply that shit full body.
Oh.
Even better, just like a real lotion regimen is like you still have to apply it after a shower. So you can't.
Yeah, but it's not like a little bit of lotion, like little two little pumps. I'm like 3 full jars of mayonnaise on your person 3 times a day.
It's terrible.
I mean, I'm not going to eat the fucking jar of mayonnaise, so I have to put it on my skin. There's no fucking way I can force myself to eat an entire jar of mayonnaise
eat that
every day. I mean, Am I allowed to game it through immediately throwing up right after?
Yeah, how big is the jar?
A standard jar, it's that's the jar of mayonnaise.
Like a mason jar of mayonnaise.
So
however they sell mayonnaise.
I can't buy the airplane mayonnaise.
No.
What? That's not a thing. Not packets. A jar. A jar of mayonnaise.
You haven't seen the mini jars in first class? Oh,
yeah,
wait.
I had that shit delivered to the bathroom.
No, like an off the shelf at the grocery store jar of mayonnaise. Not the first class on an airplane jar of mayonnaise.
No. Ugh. The worst. I guess you just have to apply it.
I mean, can I do because there way I can barter with the genie on this one and say can I try to eat it for a couple of days? And if I think I can do it, I'll stick with that one. But can I probation out to applying it?
Must choose.
Yeah.
Can I eat other things with the mayonnaise?
Dude, you can't, there's no fun wishes here.
No, Haspil has a great one. So can I eat an entire jar of mayonnaise first thing, on 30 sandwiches? I just jam and Or do I have to like just spoon it out like a crack?
No, it says from the jar. It says out of the jar. It says out of and like an entire jar of mayonnaise out of the jar for breakfast every morning.
This is
No,
brutal.
this would not work.
This is the worst one. I have no,
How is this the worst one? How is this possibly the worst?
because I can't
Yeah.
even reasonably entertain
One of
eating
the
that jar.
options was live spiders coming out of your asshole every time you take a shit. Like, there's no way that eating mayonnaise is worse than that.
I guess that's true.
Mm.
I mean, I'm
Oh.
going to have definitely a toilet incident daily for the rest of my life now.
I think I like mine better. Play 1,000 hours.
No, there's no like. It's my.
Cut off your pinky. This is my segment.
I'm the captain now.
Look at me.
Play 1,000 hours of Fallout 76 and cut off your pinky is a terrible would you rather, because it's why would you self-mutilate yourself?
Fun for 1,000 hours playing Fallout 76.
Why would you
Terrible.
self-mutilate yourself?
It has to be 2 inconceivable choices.
I was put up to this to say that, by the way.
This is my favorite thing. Like, have you guys not seen like Wishmaster?
I don't even know what that is.
I have not.
Was Shaquille O'Neal in that?
No, that was Shazam, or whatever that genie movie was. No, Wishmaster is there's like the evil genie, and whenever somebody asks for a wish, he like fucks them over.
Oh, he's
For
a
example,
devil genie.
Yeah, like for a lady's like, I wish I were beautiful, and he turns her into like a mannequin. There's no good wishes here. Like you eat that jar of mayonnaise, or you put it on your body 3 times a day.
Fine, I'll eat the goddamn jar of mayonnaise. That's what you want me to say.
So I don't care what you say.
You're the cruel genie who's obviously mad if I pick. You want me to throw up every day. I'll do it.
I have no dog in this fight.
Yeah. Okay,
Choose.
that's how you
Yeah.
game it.
That's how
You
you
don't
game
have to keep it down.
Choose to be covered in mayonnaise. It's your choose wisely.
You don't have to keep it down.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise bulimia.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna eat the jar of mayonnaise and then chase it with a syrup of ipecac.
Yeah.
So my morning, it's a hideous start to every day for the rest of your life, no doubt. It's a horrible beginning. You're going to be disappointed with your day for years. But at least I don't have to stop what I'm doing 3 fucking times a day at the office and fucking hold on a second.
I gotta put this on.
Got to put this all up on my body.
Put an entire jar of mayonnaise all over your body, and then put your clothes back on, and just be sticky clothes mayonnaise boy forever.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like I will eat the entire jar of mayonnaise with a syrup of ipecac chaser every day.
Yep. Start every day horrible.
I like Kay Warden the best. He's like, stuff is delicious. How is this even a debate?
You know, if you changed it to Miracle Whip, I can do it.
No, but it is delicious for like,
Miracle Whip counts, I think.
you know,
doesn't it?
a teaspoon or a tablespoon serving.
Is it Miracle Whip like mayonnaise? Or is it,
No.
or are you talking about Cool Whip?
No, Miracle Whip is like a mayonnaise substitute. It's not made the same way, but I
It's
love it.
not
It's
real
got that
mayonnaise.
zing.
I fucking love the way it tastes. I love the way it tastes.
I'm not going to specify brands of mayonnaise. Like you can, if it's mayonnaise, you can.
Oh, yes, I'm
I think
in.
it counts as mayonnaise. I'm
I'm
pretty
in.
sure.
I'm doing it. Miracle Whip. Because I love that shit.
Hold
I think the
on.
mayonnaise I have in my
Is
refrigerator is in fact Miracle Whip. Now that I think of it,
Whip. Oh, is Miracle Whip gluten free? This is important to me. See, Google knows what I need. Is Miracle Whip
It's not
mayonnaise?
I mean, it's sold
mayonnaise.
as mayonnaise. Come on,
It's mayonnaise. Checks out. Google says.
Google says mayonnaise. Got it.
people are like, it's not. It's an abomination. I mean, is it in the mayonnaise section with all
Yes,
the other
it
mayonnaise
is.
products? It's mayonnaise. It's advertised as fucking mayonnaise.
I'm eating it. Way better than fucking real mayonnaise. We're gonna get a really decisive and polarized audience here on the subject of Miracle Whip versus mayonnaise.
You know, there's
Going on in the chat is insane.
There's like local mayonnaises too, like here in North Carolina, where it rains all the time and the internet
God,
goes
Luker's
out.
like, it has to be warm mayonnaise. Jesus, I'm not Hitler. Like,
Wow.
it can be out of the fridge mayonnaise. My God.
room temperature mayonnaise.
This is
There's like
So mad at me right now.
This is the most polarized.
It really
More
is.
polarizing than Fart Mask or P-Jar. I've outdone myself.
because there's so many regional mayonnaises, like everywhere. I don't know.
I'm just saying, if I was the evil Jin from Wishmaster and you were compelled to go to your nearest grocery store and buy mayonnaise, I'm pretty sure you could buy whatever mayonnaise was in the mayonnaise section. I don't think it matters.
It counts. All of them count.
Doing it. I'm back in. You know what? You got to talk me into it, Genie. I'm eating that Miracle Whip every morning.
Ugh.
I'm going to fry up a couple of eggs, get a bagel out of the fucking toaster. I'm going to pour an entire fucking jar of Miracle Whip on my fucking bagels.
I mean, you can like take a bite of egg and then like mayonnaise into the mouth. Like that's fine.
I'll pour it all on my bagel. And then I'll pull my other jar of Miracle Whip out of the fridge, eat this bagel, and chase it with actual Miracle Whip out of the jar because that's how much I love Miracle Whip.
Okay.
Wow.
Weird.
Okay.
Above and beyond. Good job.
Yeah, he is there.
I'm just trying to make sure the evil genie doesn't punish me.
Would you rather gold star?
If I go extra mile, I feel like the genie's not going to kill me with a heart attack. You know what I mean? Like it's going to keep me in the game longer.
That's happened.
Yikes.
All mayonnaise related repercussions are in effect.
Yikes.
This isn't magical.
There's no uptick here. That's
the whole point of Would You Rather.
I found one. Miracle Whip, dog.
Yeah.
I'm happy now. You just got to redefine your parameters for victory here. The genie didn't choose. I chose to do this. That's why it's Would You Rather. All right. Do some tabletop marketplace.
Talk about some toys.
Oh, and anyone listening to this podcast at home, I do apologize for any audio issues you are hearing. We had a hell of a night sorting through regional internet problems, which seems to center on North Carolina a lot lately. And Rob is, in fact, on his phone. Rob, continue.
I am. But hopefully my dulcet tones are still coming through.
We can hear you just fine.
Yay. Yeah,
everybody write a strongly worded email to Spectrum Internet. And they won't read it, but
I got hit by lightning. Not me, but the right outside the backyard. So, things broke. And I still don't know what all broke, but things broke. All I can say. Anyways, so yes, new toys. Well, Warcry is obviously going to be out next week from Games Workshop on August 3rd. We all kind of know the lineup for that. A lot of people are really super hyped. Probably seen the demo boxes at your local game store. So that's really dope. There is 2 extra war bands, I think for a total of 8. Somebody fact check me on that. There's 2 extra ones in the rule book that they talk about, and I think they revealed their names. Yeah. But so there's going to be a very long, product launch. I imagine that they'll do something like every 3 months, like you do with Blood Bowl and Necromunda. We'll see. That's what my gut's saying. But maybe they'll just roll right out with stuff. Hard to say.
I really hope they don't do that. That was a mistake for every other small game they've done in the past.
Well,
yeah, it killed the momentum of so many small games. Like, I'm not saying they're not selling models or whatever, but as far as cultivating a community to play a game, that's a momentum killer.
Especially if they did that after showing all of the war bands, and they're like, "Hey, all you people that like the Crow warband, well, it could be fucking 9 months from now before you get that warband." So like all of those people that wanted that warband that were hyped for Warcry are like, fuck Warcry, I'm never playing this now. Same thing that happened with Blood Bowl, same thing that happened with Necromunda.
All right. I mean, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, obviously everybody has something to say about Mayo, so maybe you can chime in on this. It seems like with some of the games like Blood Bowl, even Titanic Case, which only 6 people total play in all of the world, apparently. It's a great game. You should try it.
I mean, let's still inflate those numbers.
Rob, there's dozens of you. Just, I'm certain of it. I'm certain of it.
I've been talking for so long. There's at least a dozen of us. Okay. Even Warhammer Underworlds, there seems to be isolated pockets of people playing these games, but G-Dubs is hitting that market saturation point where they're putting these games out, large brand games, small brand games. Everybody you're like, oh, you know what? That would be great, but I want it like this. Oh, there's a game for you. It's called Warcry, So you start seeing these pockets of like different games doing better at different stores and stuff like that. And I think, if if I was a betting man, I would say that's Games Workshop's aim, because I'm sure everybody in chat can be like, oh, this game, so 40k is popular at my store, and this game, or Age of Sigmar is kind of coming on strong with 40k, but people also play Titanicus. There's 2 of them, but they're there. I saw them, and so I kind of feel like that's a little bit of their aim, getting this stuff out there so they can have an oscillating release schedule. Like, oh, here's some Titan stuff. Oh, here's some Blood Bowl stuff. I mean, there's still 2 Blood Bowl teams to still come out, like on deck right now, so they've got a lot of stuff in the pipes ready to go for all these games. So it's a lot to supply chain manage, but also to get out and hype up and always have something to talk about, whether in between the 40k, because let's be real, how many 40k releases, how many Sigmar releases can they put out without, once again, making the game system clunky and redundant and all that stuff? And they're trying to kind of walk it back right now with 8th a little bit, I feel like. So maybe that's the case, maybe not. So we're kind of in that in-betweensy release right now, which, it's cool. It gives everybody a week off that they don't have to follow quite as much stuff. And, game stores can recoup some cash, hopefully, because it's been a busy month, I'm sure, for a lot of them. But that being said, there is a lot of other companies out there, you'll be shocked to know, that have great miniatures as well. Battle Foam will be rolling out a really new product. I just went to their website to see if it's on there, but they got a big debut of a product coming out. Probably by the time you hear this, they'll have it all posted up and stuff, so be looking for that. Creature Caster has a new miniature coming out as well. It's not miniature, it's one of their new kings. They'll be rolling that out soon, so be looking for some new releases from Creature Caster as well. There's a whole bunch of other miniatures. I don't know, we don't have a whole lot of time to get into, but a lot of companies coming online. Wargame Atlantic has some really interesting stuff coming out. A new Kickstarter will be coming out for some terrain called Dungeons and Lasers, which looks really interesting. Injection molded plastic, dungeon walls, dungeon floors, themed rooms, but also sci-fi of the same that you could use for Necromunda, Space Hulk, or things like that. Let's see, what else is there on the horizon? That's kind of some of the major stuff that I'm tracking. I know Haspil. Oh, and they revealed the Ever-Chosen sword for the painting contest. And I think that actually happens on the 27th of this month. July 27th. Let me double check that. But while I'm doing that, the GW financials will be finalized and published on July 30th. So we'll see exactly. We know their money's up, but we'll see exactly in what areas, and if what all this extra work they're doing on the back end of events, making things better, all these small market saturation type games, putting those out, see if that's all working for them. It's gonna be really interesting to dive in and kind of check all that out, all the contrast type stuff. Oh, and stores got a restock of contrast here as of late. So if you're tired of not being able to get the hot colors and not wanting to pay a premium on eBay, it looks like they're already starting to hit stores again, which is really good.
Rob, the Ever-Chosen thing, I just finished my Abaddon. Am I allowed to enter that into Ever-Chosen?
So let's read it real quick. On Saturday, July 27th, GW stores, as well as participating independent retailers, which I think were restricted to anybody that bought the large contrast rack, are holding a local painting competition. The winner of the Ever-Chosen category, see below, will have their photos updated and stuff and be invited to, they'll be finalists. They can bring their miniatures to Warhammer World from wherever they are in the world, and we'll cover their travel and accommodation. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So painting categories, we got open. Entries in any miniature can be any miniature currently available to GW. That will fit on a 30 centimeter by 30 centimeters, about 12 inches by 12 inches display area. Young Bloods, any single Citadel miniature painted by somebody age 15 and below. And then for the Ever-Chosen, yes, Kenny, any single, the Ever-Chosen category is 60 mil base or smaller. Currently available from gamesworkshop.com.
Are you allowed to, even if you painted it on the internet and took all these pictures of it already and promoted it? Because I think there might be something in the literature for that. I think I recall.
If there is, it's probably in one of these links, and you have to really dig into it. On there, of course, there's even including obligatory terms and conditions are still in the way. So I'll have to dig those up.
I mean,
I think there's a whole website. Let me go to their website.
Because the competition's in 3 days, so it's like, are people allowed to enter it with something they painted right now, or if you posted pictures of it, it's too late?
Ever Chosen website. They have a whole big website. Let me pull it up.
Not that I'm even remotely interested. I'm just using it as a talking point. I'm not going to enter my Abaddon in some painting competition.
Let's see. And find out more here. Enter the store. The rules. Your entry must be a Citadel miniature.
Oh, Russ says that there's going to be online voting, so they're not letting you pre-promote it, apparently.
Yeah, I would.
But in later rounds, so maybe
some other terms and conditions apply. Make sure to check them here. Oh, there's a whole PDF. Oh, that's nice. Let's see. Do have your miniature up for public vote? Having your miniature come in top 100 worldwide vote. Panel of judges. Following this, a panel of judges will decide on the top 3 miniatures. To enter the competition, you must leave your miniature at the store so it can be included in an initial public vote. On submitting your entry, the store manager will issue a numbered receipt. You must retain this receipt as you will need it to collect your entry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to keep digging. Based on the way this competition works, I can assure you that the things people are saying in chat are accurate. There's no way that they're even going to... For online voting, there's definitely not going to even be a person's name attached to it. It's going to be just like these pictures. You can't pre-promote it because then you would know who you're voting for. That's the main reason. Like, if it's like clearly my Abaddon because I showed everyone for fucking 6 weeks, then they know they're voting for me. If they like me because of my platform, then it would be unfair to the competition. So in order to keep it as objective as possible, I can already tell you that's not allowed.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, because then it just becomes political, like a popularity contest. So that's not.
There's quite a few pages of this PDF. It gets pretty deep. So yeah, I would just say probably not without reading all this.
Yeah, not that I'm going to. Just for anybody out there, it seems like everyone else is more versed on it than we are. We don't pay attention to painting competitions that often.
No,
not that we're not hobbyists, which we are. It's just not into painting competitions.
That's one of those weird things that like you have to have like such a, how do you judge art? It's like always a slippery slope, right? So at least they have some guidelines here. And
it's almost guaranteed that somebody who's like already won a Golden Demon or a Slayer Sword is going to win this competition because they know what the Games Workshop people want to see, and it's a exceptionally well painted model that also goes to certain like Games Workshop trademark painting techniques. It's always the same shit that wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. There's always been a lot of airbrush hate. We've seen that in the past where people don't value the airbrush work because a lot of folks just airbrush stuff and then don't go back and hyper highlight and edge it all out and then also do the rest of the detail and just use the airbrush as a time saving. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm saying that's kind of a responsible artist instead of just airbrushing it and be like, okay, I'm done. And it literally looks like, you just sprayed it and there's no other additional work done to it. That kind of gives airbrushing a little bit of a bad name.
Oh yeah. Like my new contrast video.
What's that?
No,
it's doing well, by the way.
Wyatt found a post on Fayette.
Yeah, Fayette posted it.
He posted it.
Did you see the comments on that Fayette article, Rob?
I try not to read comments.
Hilarious.
But mine. Oh, well.
There was some delusional individuals in that comment thread. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, he found it while I was live painting, and I was like, "Hold on, let me look at this." He's like, "You have to look at this." Like, I'm live right now. He's like, "I know, look at this," and then I screen shared it on Twitch. And some of these comments, people like there was multiple people who were like, "The airbrush one just looks like straight shit. The contrast one's clearly better." Like, what?
Yeah, there was some strong contrast neckbeard fanboys in that thread. It was hilarious.
Wow,
it was good.
I don't know about all that. The comments are gone. I think he deleted them all.
Maybe it was pretty toxic.
It got real.
I mean, there was some
comments.
definite like toxic behavior.
But hilarious nonetheless. All right, let's push forward with Haspil's section.
Yeah, Haspil's got some.
Okay, I'm going to start it off with like a deliberate plug for myself on the 27th at noon to 3 at Enchanted Realms in Colorado Springs, and that is Mountain Time. I will be doing some book signing and book sales along with a bunch of other local Pikes Peak writers. Chris Vaneski, who's another 40k guy, he'll be there. I think he has 2 books that he's going to be selling. So if you are not doing anything noon to 3 and you know where, just to hang out at Enchanted Realms, which is also a game store, so it's win-win. You can come on down and they'll be there. I think there's 20 or 25 authors, local authors, to the Pikes Peak area selling various science fiction fantasy books. To jump back into like 40k stuff, though, you guys might remember a game called Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, which was it's a computer game. People compare it's loosely comparable to like XCOM. It's not as detailed as XCOM, but it's pretty good, and it's about a Adeptus Mechanicus group going in and accidentally waking up a Necron tomb world, and they have a limited amount of time to grab whatever a Xenos tech they can grab and get out of there before the tomb world wakes up. Well, today just went live an expansion for it called Heretic, which is about the Dark Mechanicus. Yeah, so it is pretty cool. I got it, but I didn't have a chance to test it out. So but it was not expensive. I think it was less than $10. So and this is a really good it's a really good game out of the smaller 40k games. You know, I'm not talking about Dawn of War and stuff like that, but out of the smaller 40k games that came out, Mechanicus is one of the better games that has come out. It is really, really a very good tactical game.
That's cool to know, because you know it's always with the video games, besides like kind of Total War, I feel maybe a couple others I'm forgetting, but it always feels like it could be pretty hit or miss.
Well, I like Inquisitor Martyr is like really, really good. And Mechanicus is one that I can jump back into and just play like, you know, one mission or something and then bounce back out. And I really enjoy that. I also like the other one, which of course we're on the air, so I can't remember anything anymore, but the one that's kind of like Civilization, that's Gladius, I think it's called.
Gladius.
Yeah, I really like that one. I've lost some hours on that one, and it looks like they may have brought in Ben Counter. He had some input. You know, he's a Black Library author. He had some input on the whole Heretic, expansion. But developing the story for them and everything. Also, if you got the White Dwarf this last weekend or whatever, it had some rules for Eisenhorn in there. And apparently there was a misprint. So
yes,
go Google it or go to Spiky Bits, and Rob has the link. And GW did put out an update to that you can just print out for Eisenhorn.
You can email them too, just customer service, and ask for the PDF. Yep. I didn't post the full PDF.
No, but you had the link though, didn't you? Or
no, I think they were just giving it out to people.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I took a screenshot of it, but you probably want the full PDF because it's much cooler than the picture I took.
And then if you're playing Warhammer Underworlds, they announced Beastgrave, which is going to be season 3 of Warhammer Underworlds. So that's kind of neat. And they also put out a new banned and restricted list for tournament play. So go check that out as well.
Yeah, no new banned stuff, but plenty of restricted.
Shade Speezy.
What do you guys think of those models they showed in the shadows? Do you think that's a Bestigor?
It looks like Wood Elves.
It did look like like a centaur. Do you think?
Yeah.
It's Axel?
Then they had the that like battle cat looking thing.
Yeah. I'm stoked. I definitely want to see some new war bands, because they might be pairing it for the Wanderers. Like, because did you see? Obviously, there was we forgot to talk about it, but there was the Age of Sigmar Open Day on Saturday where they showcased that they're going to have a new Oruk book coming out that combines all the factions that are currently out there. But maybe more importantly, the Cities of Sigmar, which will not only have the Free Peoples, aka the Emperor or the Empire, but also they'll have Wanderers in there and the Dispossessed. So they'll have, aka the Wood Elves. Oh, a coalition of men, elves, and dwarves. I wonder where they got that idea from. But they're all going to be in that book, which is pretty neat.
And a hint at a new Gutbusters book, it looks like.
Something coming for them for sure, yes. Not a new Ogre Tyrant.
That new Tyrant model looks sick.
Yeah, I had to look it up. I don't know if you read the post, but I remember it was in January. I thought it was 2002, but they first originally came out in 2004. So they're in high school right now, all those Ogre models.
It'd be nice if we got some new ones. Just saying.
Yeah. So fresh.
Classic GW. So let's move into our sad section. We touched on at the beginning of the show. I'm sure by this point, this is Wednesday in the middle of the week. I think during Sunday, a Twitter went live, which shocked the miniature world. Geoff Robinson, in control, known for his shot casting for GW, for his StarCraft professional play on the internet, working with Frontline Gaming for years and years now. Geoff Robinson passed away last Sunday. And I think, obviously, it's shocking. He was only 33. Sudden illness. I think later they talked about it. They said that he had a blood clot in his lungs is what the follow-up was. Because I know everyone just like, whenever someone so young is so physically fit, I mean, he was so jacked. I used to always joke with him about that. How could this happen? And so apparently something kind of freak, like a freak medical condition afflicted him.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest thing you could think of, honestly.
It's it's pretty sad, and I think that's why it resonated so much, because there was nothing. It was so sudden. He was so in seemingly good health to everybody. I mean, we interacted with him a week prior, and that's why it's so shocking. And I think besides his high profile and just being such good
Rob,
dude,
I think he streamed on Thursday.
Yeah, he streamed. Well, yeah, he was streaming his stuff, I think, like a day before or like 2 days.
Like, I always catch a few minutes of his StarCraft stuff, man. I feel like I saw him he's just so like, this is a freak medical incident. For everyone out there is where, because it's just, everyone wants to make sense of all this. So, Geoff Robinson, competitive. He won Bay Area Open. He said it was a huge achievement for him. He'd been working toward that, trying to get into the top 8 at LVO for all these years. Because if you guys don't know anything about him, he came to our scene from the competitive esports world as one of the best StarCraft players in America, if not the best. Said he wanted to switch over into this, become the best NIDS player. Ran that for a couple seasons. You're talking about a guy with almost no 40k experience coming in with a superior game mentality, like just ultimate gamer. Did incredibly well, was incredibly competitive. Won Bay Area Open this year. We just saw him. Me and Wyatt were just there at Bay Area Open. And he won it with his Custodes AdMech list. We just saw him at ATCs. We covered that event. He was the first interview of the week, I think is what you said, right?
It was, yeah.
Because he was playing Necrons. He crushed it. We predicted he would be our first interview. And he was.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize it. I went back to get the numbers for all the streams we did, to turn that stuff in, and I just kind of scrubbing through the video, and I saw it pop up, and I was like, oh dang! And then I watched it, and you were interviewing him, and you were using your mic for him to talk into. And then I remembered, because they threw the scoring up on the screen, and they're like, Rob, go run the mic over to him. And I'm like, oh crap. And then so I made sure it was on, and I handed it to Geoff, and then I walked back, and and then I was standing there watching you guys.
It's funny because it was our first, like, a lot of people were like, oh, you guys did such a good job at the event. We did a big rehearsal on Friday. Then this is where it gets crazier as our campfire story. There was a bit of a miscommunication with the top tables. Like, we're supposed to be streaming the top tables. And so initially top table showed up. They had to do a reshuffle because some of the pairings are wrong, and it reshuffled all the tables. And so then it was Beast Coast and Team Zero Comp, which is Jeff's team. And they showed up and we're like, oh, but they're not the top table. Do we swap them again? And we saw how many high profile people were on the floor. Tony Kopak, Nick Dalvadi, Geoff Robinson.
It was great.
It was incredible. We're like, this is actually perfect. So that's why we streamed. That was our first live, after our rehearsals. And so our very first interview, because he crushed it so hard, looked good on paper, but it was a disaster. Like, the things that were going on behind the scenes. Geoff, obviously professional as fuck. I'll never forget seeing his eyes when he looked at that monitor and saw the graphics, saw the future of esports. Being the guy who comes from that.
Yeah, it's, it was really cool to see that reaction. And I guess I was trying to share it, but like Google's in beta now, or everything's Google Studio beta. So it's really hard to like link a timestamp. But if you go to any of the streams, it was at 2 hours, 50 minutes and 12 seconds is when for the day one stream, the big one. So that's where we interview him at. And it's like a minute, it's not even that long. And then we interview Nick Nanavetti afterwards. And, it's just.
Look, the last thing I'm going to say on this piece is, and I'll kick it over to the other guys, is like, so, Geoff has been coming up in this game for better part of a decade now, like almost like, he's 6-7 years. So we've been seeing each other. Like we always talk about, it's like, you have tournament friends. I see him at every event. Like I see him more times a year than my brother. Now, like that doesn't mean I kick it with them in the hotel rooms to the break of dawn, smoking and drinking or whatever. But I see him in person, joke with him more times a year than my own family. So there's a very intimate connection with this community and how we played at the highest level of the convention lifestyle. He's a part of my family in that way. So, it definitely hurt me more than I thought it would. Cause, ultimately I barely know Geoff, like the person behind the tabletop dick stomper that he is, like the killer on the table. You know what I mean? All I know about the guy is he brought a vision and a passion to our community. He hooked up with Frontline Gaming to bring that esports, like kind of Twitch streaming, vibe over. He ushered it in. He helped usher it in at the very least. And the point I'm making is like, as a community, this is our first legend. Like Geoff Robinson is the first legend of Warhammer 40k. He came in right at this era. We couldn't have done it without him to start pushing forward to this new world, like that hype ass competitive world what puts the spotlight on us. It couldn't have happened without him. All weekend when we were at ATCs, I just kept looking at guys out there playing and I'm like, these are going to be the legends. Like, because this is day one. We're figuring this out, we're working with Skillshot in Pro Tabletop. These are all legends. I feel like I was just looking at legends. Well, Geoff Robinson is the first legend of Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, I've met Geoff a few times, not nearly as many as you guys, but then again, like I haven't been really in the tournament circuit until like the end of last year, really. But the couple of times I did get to talk to him, he was a cool dude. I'd only ever talked to him like twice. So he was kind of hard to get a read on. But both times I talked to him, he was very polite. He was chill, good conversation. And from all accounts of all of the people who knew him, and all the people that he interacted with over the years in our community, it seemed like he was unanimously liked. And it's always hard to see somebody who holds that kind of gaze in the community to leave so abruptly due to a death like this. So it's always kind of a shock. I wish I could have known him more. Wish I could have talked to him more. So that's sad. So yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't really have too much to talk about him as a person just because I barely knew him. But I can say that both times that I did talk to him, he was a really cool guy and nice to talk to, and he'll be missed.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that just goes to show, you just gotta try to live in the now as much as you can, especially at these events. Always say hi to everybody. Always, try to get out there. And sometimes this is the only time we see.
It definitely makes me want to.
Family.
It definitely makes me, feel like I always feel like I'm being pulled in so many directions when I go to events, and I want to hang out with everybody. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like making me say, like, you always now have time for everything. Like, doesn't matter how tired you get. Doesn't matter if you want to go to bed, because like this is like our family, this community. And so,
yeah,
like, I don't want to ever feel like I didn't spend enough time with somebody that I cared about again. Like, we've dedicated our lives to this. Like, it's more than just like we play toy soldiers of the weekend with our friends,
Yeah, absolutely.
Haspil's been doing this since like the 60s, so he knows.
Yeah.
He helped H.P. Lovecraft write the first rules of toy soldiers, right?
It was H.G. Wells, but yes.
Same thing. Orson Welles, H.G. Wells. Speaking of big events, there's one coming up this weekend, right, Kenny?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's so we have a little bit more on Geoff in a second. First things first. It's hard to talk about, so sorry for muting in and out here. SoCal Bulldog Rescue. This was the charity that was posted on the Twitter that everyone's been following all weekend. That's the preferred charity if you're looking to support the family. They're not asking for that. They're asking you to support this Bulldog Rescue because that was near and dear to Geoff. So SoCal Bulldog Rescue, if you're looking to help out, send your vibes somewhere that can really have an impact. Which makes me love the dude even more, man. Like, dogs, so, love them. And I love it when people want to help them, and it's amazing that he can be this like hardcore dude who bench presses 432 pounds on a video confirmed, and he's also like, dogs, like, rescue these dogs. So like, I love that. Real quick, this just got announced. There'll be more information upcoming weeks, I imagine. Battleground Games and Hobbies, Charity GT. Sometime, I believe in September, they're going to be doing a raffle charity to support even more for SoCal Bulldog Rescue. So just, keep your ear to the ground for that. We'll let you guys know when we hit more on it. But to this weekend, let's push forward with competitive 40K. You want to know the saddest thing that happened to me in the last 48 hours is, but also makes me like know what we have to do to keep honoring Geoff?
What's that?
Pulling out the BCP app to look at all the lists that went live for SlaughterFest 2019, scrolling through to look at lists and just arbitrarily be like, I wonder what Geoff is bringing. And Geoff's in the app, and I was really sad when I saw that, but also I was like, keep him in the app. Like, this is the hobby that he's dedicated, he's passionate about, that he's helped build. Like, game on, So it turned into like an incredibly sad moment to a totally inspirational moment for me. So SlaughterFest 2019 here in our own backyard, Southern California. This is the first year of its existence. Big shout out, Veteran Gamers, Re-Enlisted, and Enigma Hobbies. They sold out over 100 people. Major shit is going down. Wyatt's flying out. I'll be there. We'll be able to interact with everybody. Alan, the greatest Ultramarine player in the world, will be there. It's going to be a good time this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Going to be legit, this inaugural SlaughterFest weekend.
That's the one at the casino?
Yes, it is.
Oh, snap.
We're calling it Mini LVO. Obviously, it's going to be adult time with all our friends. It's going to be amazing. The lists are hyphy. So let's take a second to kind of break down what me and why. Like, I'm not going to go into it because I think a lot of times, like, just saying like what's in our army list is boring content. But this might be a little interesting to talk about. So I was going to bring an 11 Demon Edge and Chaos list. We went hype on it on the tactics class. Wyatt was a part of those for like a couple of weeks, and it's awesome. Like, I even painted them. I got the 3 Blood Sliders of Corn, the 3 Lord D's, the 3 Malafines I got being commissioned by Voodoo Von Asabath on Twitch. I'm like, this is going to be so hype. I bought an extra Helldrake, and then Chaos Knights came out. Now, let me put it this way.
I mean, you knew Chaos Knights was.
I know, but I didn't know.
I know you did.
I didn't know. I sucked the homeless guy's dick to make that happen. Okay, so I knew it was real, but I didn't know if SlaughterFest was going to let us play it. They put out some requirements if you want to play Chaos Knights, which I met, so I have to. I built these knights when the index dropped. This is the first opportunity I have to play them as real knights. I had to redo the list, so I'm running 2 Despoiler class knights, Iconoclast, double Gatlin on one, double battle cannon on the other. Got 1 ward dog with the autocannons. We're running it. I love Iconoclast. I think it's the best. I think it's the best hybrid you can do. The best mix of melee and firepower. I think the rapid fire battle cannon Despoiler with the relic of ignores modifiers plus the Valve Beast Slayer is one of the most damaging potential knights out in the game right now. Mix that in with Trail of Destruction for full rerolls, or you take him Dreadblade, which I always do for Path of Glory. If you see another knight or some other kind of characters like Mortys or Magnuses or Lord D's, full rerolls, so you don't even have to keep dumping CP into the rerolls. And then you know, I got the other dude with double Gatlin. He's got the Val Carnage. Every 10 models he kills, he gets another attack. Iconoclast get an extra attack in the first round of combat, which equals 3 because Happy Feet. Think about the hybrid of bullets plus getting into that combat, you know, and saying like I have an extra AP and 12 extra. I mean, I get that Iconoclast Knight up to 24 attacks in close combat all the time. Like, and of course, I love to take the relic of Coronate Target in case I need to shut some invulnerables down on some units. Like maybe I'm going up against some grotesques, you know. So there's some great chaotic vibes there. I'm running 3 Lord D's, 2 Despoilers, 1 War Dog, and Dirty Mike and the Boys Red Corsairs, 16 CPs.
Oh yeah.
And Wyatt is bringing something totally new from his last few.
Yeah, I mean, I've been like pretty high on that Prophets of Flesh train for the whole first of the year, but I feel like based on how the meta has evolved, Prophets of Flesh, it has waned in its power, and I've been feeling a little like a crossroads where if I want to keep doing this Eldar thing, I feel like the only way forward is to move 100% into Craftworld's Eldar, which I don't necessarily mind doing, but I didn't get into Eldar to play Craftworlds. I got into Eldar to play Grotesques, to play Rax, to play Archons and Succubus and Talos and all that fun shit. So I think they're going to sit the bench for a little while, and I'm going to go back to my first love, our Lord and Savior, Rabute Gilliman and the Ultra Homies. And I'm bringing a pretty interesting list to SlaughterFest. This is something that Alan Marshall, our friend, has been playing for many years and doing really well with. Meta in, meta out. His list is always done relatively well in a tournament setting. So I talked to him personally and we discussed it and got some of the tactics down. He taught me a few things about what he had learned over playing this many, many times. And because he does not have the same amount of hobby time that I have, he has been really wanting to add some changes to this list that he thinks it might even be better by adding in units like Eliminators, some of the new stuff from the Vanguard box set of Space Marines, instead of things like a Thunderfire Cannon and a couple of other little units. So I'm technically running the untested variation, like the next evolution of Alan's list. And past week, I've been getting a lot of practice games in, been doing really well with the list against relatively good players and high meta type army lists. So I feel real confident with that. And people look at it and it's a bit weird. It's only 2 detachments. So people are like, wow, you almost never see that, right? It's only a battalion and Rabute Gilliman. It's got him. It's got a captain. It's got Tigerius. It's got 5 dreadnoughts. And then a bunch of sniper scouts, some eliminators, and some intercessors. And people look at it and they're like, I don't understand this.
Not just any dreadnoughts, though.
Huh?
Not just any dreadnoughts, though.
Not just any dreadnoughts. We'll get to, So like it's weird because almost any time, Kenny, you and I have seen people look at Alan's list, they immediately write it off until they play it. And they're like, oh no. Like this is really good. And it has some.
Why is that Leviathan dreadnought holding a pea jar?
Yeah. Yeah.
You better put that back before my dad gets home.
Yeah, Filthy Phil and his P-Jar are definitely going to be on the tabletop at SlaughterFest. So it's got 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts. You don't see a lot of those. It's got 2 Relic Contemptor Dreadnoughts with 2 twin las cannons. And then it's got our old boy, the Leviathan Relic Dreadnought with twin storm cannon arrays and some hunter killer missiles.
Lordy.
Oh yeah. So I'm looking forward to the tournament. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Feeling confident going into it. We'll see how it goes.
Haspil, take us out of here.
Lo there do I see my father. Lo there do I see my mother and sisters and my brothers. Lo there do I see the line of my people back to the beginning. Lo, they do call to me. They bid me take my place among them in the halls of Valhalla, where the brave shall live forever.
Let us observe a moment of silence for our fallen brother, Geoff Robinson.